When Hitler invaded Poland in 1939, the Third Reich had not yet began scientific exploration. That changed with the capture of a small Polish village. In 1940, there was an experiment lasting 5 days in duration, known only as the Gunshue effect. It tested the human drive to live if tempted with gluttony in the form of various delicacies. The scientist, respectively named, was killed by a colleague shortly following the experiment, but not before audio logging each day for scientific data. Below are the original tapes, translated by the Allies as evidence to the Nuremberg trials. This is Dr. Klaus Gunshue. I am accompanied by my colleagues, Dr. Victor Ubal-Grentz and Joseph Warman. Today is the start of a 5-day experiment to see if gluttony will preside over self-dignity. 4 subjects have been provided for experimentation. 2 large Polish men, a pregnant woman who is due in 3 days, and a daughter of one of the 3 men, aged 4. They were fed roasted boar for dinner, and the men were given Germany's finest wine. The subjects reacted as expected, overjoyed and surprised. Little do these humans, if that is indeed what they are, know they will be faced with nightmarish moral dilemmas. Day 2. All 4 subjects were present this morning. They were served buttermilk waffles for breakfast, with accompanying orange juice and milk. Bacon, eggs, and sausage were also served. It was 1:30 p.m., Central German time, when both of the male subjects were given their first task. Each armed with knives, their goal was to fight to the death. Should they have refused, they would both be shot. Should they have terminated any of the other subject, they would be tortured and then shot. Just as expected, they cooperated. As it happened, the father of the girl lost. The woman and the girl were both crying throughout the conflict, and the microphone was turned off as a result. 2 guards hauled away the dead man's body. The remaining 3 ate roast stew for dinner. Additionally, there was a pause, extra ingredient in tonight's meal. Day 3. Subject woke up this morning. Each were given cheese croissants with a garlic-based butter sauce. Although considered, no drugs were injected in the male throughout the night. This is a purely mental experiment with no variables permitted. The male's tests was administered at 3:35 p.m. Central German time. A doctor entered the room and assisted the man in giving the woman a premature C-section. The man, believing that her water broke, complied. A bag was left on the table immediately following the childbirth. He was privately instructed to extract the infant's heart and consume it. Considering the alternative, he agreed per our somewhat forceful persuasion. Entering the room, he opened the bag and, not revealing the contents to the mother, found a wide variety of surgical tools within. After what happened to be a prayer, he took the child and struck it in the chest. Naturally, it died instantly. Cutting open its chest, the man ripped out the baby's still beating heart. He then stuffed it in his mouth, whole, chewing and crying as the baby continued to sputter post-mortem blood. The guards removed the infant's carcass as the man tearfully explained the situation to the distraught mother. From a personal standpoint, I don't see what all the ruckus was about. The little pig had it coming. Day 4. 3 subjects remained this morning, with the mother having survived thanks to an emergency operation after the man's trial. While physically intact, she was mentally warped, showing no emotion whatsoever. She had started to mumble to herself. Electroshock therapy was considered, but it deemed unnecessary. Subjects were served cheddar wurst. At this point, the cuisine was the only thing keeping them going. The female was given her first and final tasks. She agreed without retort, which was seen as rather unusual. First, she insists the word slut on her breasts. Then, providing proper tools, she was asked to cut up her own feces and ingest it. I'll admit, the doctors and I had a little fun with her during today's procedure. It is noted that she did so without showing pain or disgust. More intriguing. Then, the male did his trial for the day. He was to take the frozen corpse of the infant and beat her to death with it. Ruefully agreeing, he did the job. The woman did not do so much as twitch. The little girl, as predicted, was beside herself. Something unexpected happened after the test, though. The man comforted the remaining girl, explaining as best he could the confinements of the situation. Such will be the irony of tomorrow's tests. 2 subjects remain. Side note. Over the course of the experiment, this male has shouldered the mental workload, yet remains unaffected. Perhaps he emotionally detached himself from the situation entirely. Staff note. Dr. Ubelgrens attempted to murder a guard today, so, in coordination with the protocol, I shot him. Dr. Werherman remains firmly committed to the project. Neither subject slept, distraught by yesterday's tests. They held each other for dear life. They both were treated to France's finest crêpes for their final meal. After breakfast, the male was given his final task in exchange for falsely promised liberation. This was the only way he could get himself to do anything. He was to perform sexual intercourse with the girl in all orifices. Agreeing, this time with no apparent regret, he went in and committed the act, leaving her barely alive. Providing him with a hacksaw, he was ordered to saw her in half, starting with the legs. He did so, not visibly reacting to the girl's screams. It was then when he finally went mad. Taking the hacksaw, he severed his own head in half the entire way. This is almost medically impossible to commit, assuming his brain would give out before he could finish. Concluding statement. It seems that as a result of broken promises, it only takes the followed promise of survival through an infinite and luxurious food supply to drive these murderous animals to anything. This confirms both mine and the Führer's thoughts. Under controlled circumstances, man will eat his own.